Find your mouthpiece and put on your jock straps. It's the Sports Blitz with Doug and Robbie.
Okay, how long is your show?
You guys have such a great setup.
Hey, listen, if you're under a rock or if you're in a cave, come on out and listen to our episode.
It was fun talking baseball. I love talking Red Sox. I love talking coaching.
I don't care because I would rather there not be an MLB season than have to sit and watch the colossal embarrassment.
Hey, hello, I am Bloom. Yeah, it's Doug and Robbie from the Sports Blitz. I just wanted to find out whether you need some pitching.
There you go. In 5, 4, 3. Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode number 80 of the Sports Blitz. Yes, folks, it is episode number 80. Happy to be with you on another Thursday night. And as always, I am Robbie. Doug is here as well. Doug, how are you tonight, my man?
I'm doing great. I am here. Wait, yes, I am here. Yes, I am here. Doing great. Ready to roll. We got some things to talk about. I'm very excited about it. And I can't believe it's episode number 80. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, who
would have thought after 79 we would do episode number 80?
I know. It's mind-boggling, really. By the way, as we always say here on the Sports Blitz, if you are under a rock or in a cave, definitely a great time to come on out, get some fresh air, listen to our episode, watch our episode,
get an immunization.
Get
immunized and then go back in.
Yeah, you might want to go back in for a little bit. Yeah. Definitely. By the way, mask up if you're going to come out. Obviously, mask up. But yeah, very excited to be here for another fun episode of the Sports Blitz. And let's kick it right off by talking about a team that is not in season at the moment. Yes, we're going to talk about a team not in season to kick off the episode. Anyway,
we don't know.
We don't know, but it is. We do know in a sense because obviously we're talking about our beloved New England Patriots, where there was some news this week in the Patriots department, and it is some bittersweet news as a longtime Patriot favorite and tremendous standout receiver has decided that he is going to hang it up after 11 years in the league. I know where we both have been crying nonstop since earlier this week. And that is Julian Edelman. Number 11 himself announced earlier this week that he is retiring from professional football. Obviously, he's been dealing with some injury issues over the last couple of years and finally, unfortunately, has really caught up to him. And, I guess he failed his physical earlier prior to that announcement with the Patriots. So sort of some dominoes fell into place there. He has decided to leave the game after, like I said, a very successful 11-year career with the Patriots, which includes 3 Super Bowl titles and 1 Super Bowl catch against Atlanta that will never, ever be forgotten by members of Patriot Nation. So, Doug, I wanted to sort of just get your reaction and thoughts to Julian Edelman hanging it up after, appropriately enough, being number 11 after 11 seasons in the National Football League.
Yeah, just I guess not surprised. A little bit sad, a little bit, like an end of an era kind of thing. I mean, and to tell you the truth, Robbie, this is going to be kind of weird. And maybe it's because it's a retirement versus I'm going to keep playing. But I feel a lot more kind of sad about this one as opposed to Brady not being it. And I guess because of the fact that, he's 5'10". He's a wide receiver, a guy who was told many, many times that he could not there's no way you can play football, and you shouldn't play football. You're not big enough. You're not tall enough. You're not whatever. And the
Seventh
fact,
round pick.
what? Yeah. What
Seventh
was it?
round pick. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that there was a lot of, the conversations that went on were the fact that, as he came up in the ranks, he was just, as he wanted to be a receiver, a lot of receivers are, a lot taller than 5'10". Some of them are a lot taller, but again, they you make yourself a slot receiver as opposed to, somebody who goes long, although he has done that too. So he has been a deep threat at times. It's just gonna miss him. Just kind of sad. It's the more of an end of an era kind of situation. And I guess I wasn't surprised just hearing the reports about his knee and the fact that it was not, there was some setbacks, or it wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing, and that kind of thing. Again, there's some rumors about the fact that, he's retiring, so he can go and play with Brady. Gronk says he's got a 62% chance he's coming to play with Brady. I don't think that's true, although Gronk just did the same thing, right? Retired and then went to go play with Brady. So I don't really think that's going to happen. I really think this is he had a video out, which I thought was
Also, Edelman's kind of older. Edelman's a few years older than Gronk too. I mean,
Right. Oh, of
so,
course.
So I think that the part of the reason why I agree with you that it's very unlikely is that, first of all, there's the injury situation. Talking about Edelman is kind of up there a little bit in terms of football age, is a little bit up there, whereas Gronk is still relatively on the the younger side of things. So I agree. I would be very surprised if Edelman at any point down the road decided to try to make a comeback with anybody, Tampa, Patriots, etc. I think you're right. He is done. I'm just gonna miss his toughness. I think that's the big thing. I mean, he was just with all his height disadvantages and just all sort of the naysayers about him and stuff like that. I mean, he proved everybody wrong, and he just played with that chip on his shoulder and he just went after it. It didn't matter what kind of ball it was. It didn't matter what kind of punishment he took, hit wise. He was a competitor. He just went after that football like only he could. And again, I mean, just that catch against the Falcons, in the Super Bowl, it just is a play that will be on the minds of Patriots fans everywhere forever. I still to this day don't know how he caught that football. But yeah, I mean, he just so many great moments for him. Super Bowl MVP, again, 3-time Super Bowl champ, tremendous playoff achievements and regular season achievements. Obviously we all also think back to when he threw that touchdown pass and the comeback went over Baltimore in the divisional round. Just so many memories that you could pick and choose from with him. And he's gonna be missed. He's gonna be missed by Patriots fans everywhere. And I look forward to when he at least will be put into the Patriots Hall of Fame. I'm sure that'll be coming down the road at some point. Obviously, there is some debate about whether or not he would be worthy of a spot in Canton. Obviously, a lot of people more hesitant to put him in there than the Patriots Hall of Fame. But bottom line is that he had a great career. Just made a lot of great memories is what it really comes down to. And someone that young receivers anywhere who are sort of hoping to get to the next level should definitely take a page out of his book. And definitely serves as a role model to all the slot receivers everywhere that it certainly can be done no matter what size you are. So yeah, he is going to be missed for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I would think that somebody that I think mirrors him in the Boston sports scene, who is still out there playing, is probably Patrice Bergeron. Just the toughness of, when Edelman got hit, a lot of the time you looked at the hit and you said, there is no way he's getting up after this.
Right.
And all of a sudden he jumps right up and he's fine.
Right.
And he's also played with a ton of injuries, just like Patrice has too. So if I were to mirror an athlete in Boston that kind of they mirror each other in at least toughness, it's got to be Patrice Bergeron, which is, he played with collapsed lung, he played with all kinds of injuries, and I just think that it's, you always knew that he was going to get up. So it's, I just think he will definitely be missed.
Yeah, I would even put another Boston athlete that recently retired. I would even put sort of Dustin Pedroia in that same sort of category. Wasn't the biggest guy, height wise, but definitely made up for it with grit and determination and toughness. Again, another player who just recently stepped aside from his sport. So I would definitely agree with you. Yeah, Bergeron I think is a perfect example of someone like that mindset as well, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, we at the Sports Blitz just want to wish again, Julian Edelman a safe and happy retirement. Just wish him nothing but the best going forward and whatever future endeavors he chooses to pursue, and he will forever be a Patriot. And by the way, his retirement video, was,
you got to check that out.
Was a good one. Yeah, he killed it.
Everybody check that out because it's awesome. It is awesome. It's almost like a pickup for the Patriots. It's like one of those videos that right before the Patriots start, they send out this pump up video for the season and stuff like that. This is like a pump up for his. It is really, he just did a really great job. One of the best, if not the best, retirement videos I've ever seen. It was really great. Absolutely. Get a chance, YouTube it. Just watch it because it's not long, but just watch it because it's really very cool.
No, definitely is. So well done to Julian Edelman and his video team, I guess, for putting that one together. Very, very well done. So now I want to move on to the teams that are currently in season, and we'll start with a team that had quite the winning ways going.
Lately, anyway.
Up until today, unfortunately they had a 9-game win streak snap this afternoon, but still showed a lot of grit and determination coming back in that game. Unfortunately, to fall just a little bit short. And that's the Boston Red Sox, who, again, start off the season 0-3. Just a lot of questions about, is this sort of just a 2020 on repeat? Should we even keep watching the season, after we get swept by the Orioles in the season opening series? But they have turned it around in a big way. Again, 9 wins in a row. Coming into today, of course, like I said, fell 4-3 in the final game of a 4-game set against Minnesota this afternoon. So they now sit at 9-4 on the season and first place currently in the American League East, even though I know, it's only 13 games into the season. But Doug, before I get into sort of my question about the win streak, I just wanted to sort of get, now that the win streak has officially come to an end of 9 games, just your reaction to what was an unbelievable stretch of baseball by this team.
Yeah, I'm actually, interestingly enough, I've been doing more listening than watching. If I get a chance to watch, I'll watch, but just the excitement of this team has been, you had your first 3 losses. Okay, your first 3 at the beginning of the year. You had your first 3 losses. It was cold. It was dark. It was damp. It was terrible.
It was Baltimore.
It was
Yeah.
Baltimore. I like Baltimore, by the way, because one of my best friends he lived in Baltimore for a long time. I spent a lot of time there, so Baltimore's not a bad city. So everybody that's
Bad
watching for
team.
Baltimore, we love you. The Sports Bill loves you in Baltimore. But it's after the first couple of losses, after the first 3 losses, I would say to myself, "Oh no, here we go again. Here we go again. Is this going to happen, or are we going to turn this around?" Now, after that, all of a sudden, it's like they turn on a switch or something. I have no idea what happened, whether it was motivation, whether it was, I don't know what it was. It was crazy. Crazy in a good way. They're fun to watch. They're hitting the baseball like there's no tomorrow, except for in Minnesota, where it's very cold and very rainy and very cold. And because it's cold, the baseball, you could jack that baseball. It looks like it's going to be a home run. All of a sudden it dies right out. They have had a lot of those, and which is fine. And that on both teams. So that's fine. And again, even Lou Merlone said they should bring back the dome in Minnesota because it's so much better to have 72 degrees and be able to mimic a summer day in baseball. They actually play in the snow. What's up with that? So because they never played in the snow before, so it's snowing. Put the tarp on. Let's go, guys. But there's been a lot of weather across the country, and the weather we can't help, so there's nothing we can do about that. But when they started winning and progressively winning and pitching well and the runs that they're scoring, I'm just like, what's going on here? And all of a sudden they're exciting to watch. And even the loss today was not a bad game.
Right.
And if they can, I'm just going to put it right out there, Rob. If they're going to play like they're playing now, and they string some losses, they're not going to win every game. So we got to realize that right up front. They're not going to win every game. If they win 2 out of 3 in a series, I'm good. If they lose and they played well and the pitching was well, I'm going to be okay with that. It's when they go out and you don't see the effort, when you go out and don't see the excitement, when you see them just giving up and not playing well and deciding, oh, well, this game's dead. No, it's the 3rd inning. And yeah, you may be down 4-0, but that's doable. So get on your butts and let's go. It's like, just don't give up, or at least make it respectable. If you're down 7-0, make it respectable. Try to work out your whatever you need to work out and get out there and do. And as long as they do that, I don't have a problem where they're going. I've just been exciting to listen and to watch them right now. They're just an exciting team to watch. I mean, the guys are hitting well. The pitching, I think, we'll get to it in a few minutes, but the pitching has been a little inconsistent, but not too bad. So I think my first impression of this team, going by the 12 or so games, 10 plus games that they've already played, I want to watch this team. I really do. I really do. And listen, I don't even get, I have PlayStation. I don't even get MLB and the show. I'm actually thinking about getting it because and I don't get it because it's just too slow. It's too slow for me as a video game. But it's one of those things where I'm considering it here because they're a good team and I like the way they're playing. So yeah, that's my feelings. What are your feelings about being our best our baseball expert? What are your feelings about this team? 10 plus games in.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I mean, like I said, I was definitely a bit down on this team after the first 3 games. I was like, oh God, here we go again. Like, yeah, I was trying to sort of keep, any sort of a sense of optimism that I could, but it was very hard after that. When you get swept in the opening series at home by the Baltimore Orioles, it is very hard to keep any sort of optimism about what is yet to come. But I'll tell you, man, they have turned it around in a big, big way, and they have just been so much fun to watch. You're right. Even the game like today, they lost, and some of these games where they've gone down early, but then have battled back. And the offense, like you said, has been tearing the cover off the ball, so to speak. It has just been it's been just so much fun to watch. Period. End of story. Cover, yes. By the way, if you hear us say random words, or that means that we have a little bit of a live chat going. So Doug just typed in cover with a question mark. Yes, tear the cover off the ball. It's a saying. So, but yeah,
I've heard it.
It's been just so much fun to watch is what it comes down to, and I really hope that they can keep this up and just sort of just stay this consistently fun to watch. I guess the question I want to ask you, Doug, is because obviously the one big change between 2020 and 2021 is the manager, Alex Cora, back in the Red Sox dugout, back as manager of this ball club. We just know from having watched him behind the bench in 2018 and 2019 that this team just seems to take on just a whole different personality with Alex Cora at the helm. And so what I wanted to ask you is for your thoughts on, and I can give mine as well, is how much of this early success and this 9-game run and all that is, well, I guess I'll call the Cora effect.
I think it's 100%. I really do. I think that the Cora effect, as you call it, not a bad phrase for that. I think it's huge. I think it really is. I think that there are. I think we kind of talked about it. We touched upon it in our last episode, and I think even the episode before we're talking basketball and how Brad Stevens is actually motivating his team. And there have been some people out there professionally that have said, look, managers and coaches that motivate us, kind of, in the pro ranks, it just shouldn't have to happen, or, it's kind of overrated. I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all, especially in baseball, where it's a team game, but it's also individual at the same time. You have guys that like JD Martinez who are hit, like you said, the cover off the ball, and then yeah, and then you have some other guys who are kind of streaky right now. They're, you have other guys that are just not offensively playing where they want to play, and you're telling me that you can't pat them on the behind and say, hey, you get them next time. Why not? I think, and I know for a fact, because you could see it in the dugout, the players go back in. It doesn't matter what they do. Even if they're making an error, Alex, Cora's going up to him, talking to him, patting him on the butt, which they do anyway. But just kind of, you could tell he's motivated. You could tell that he's excited about his team. And I think it's not overrated, because I know you've coached and I've coached teams. And yeah, I mean, it's not professional. It's not even a collegiate level. I don't think it's even at the high school level.
I've coached at the high school level.
Yeah, you've coached at the high school level. I've done mostly probably 7th and 8th graders,
but still.
7th and 8th graders mostly, but I never coached at the high school level. But still,
3-time Rivers basketball champion, right here. Just gotta throw that out there again.
gotta say it over and over again every single time. I'm gonna get you a monument or a medal or maybe a tag.
Just
So
put me right next to Red. Put me right next to Red.
right, exactly. Right. I'm gonna make a little statue right next to Red. Robbie won the Rivers. Everybody's gonna go by and go, what? So, so anyway, there has to be some portion of it that needs to be motivation, even if it's 10%. Gotta motivate your players sometimes. Players who are not playing well and know they're not playing well, you have to. It's a necessity. I know Cassidy does it too. Cassidy goes up to him and says, I can tell he's patting him on the back saying, hey, don't worry about that. It's all right. This is really what you need to do. Do this, do this, do this. There are some people that do it and some people that don't. I think there has to be some level of that. And I think Cora does that. And I think that's what's changed the attitude. I think he has conversations with his guys and, physically in person, but they also have team meetings. And in the team meetings, he's freaking pumping these guys up. And that's just his personality. I was always pumping the guys up because you have to motivate at least a little bit. You have to say, hey, don't worry about that. Don't worry about not getting that shot in. Don't worry about that. You get it next time. You get them, whatever. Don't worry about it. Maybe you could do this and this instead, or do this. This is what managing and coaching is.
Right.
That's my personal opinion. There are other people that feel differently, but I think the core factor has been absolutely huge. And I think because of Cora's attitude, if you have a manager that has a great attitude and is pumping you up and is pumped about playing and let's go out and let's kick these guys out, the players are gonna realize that. They're gonna see that. They're gonna go out and do whatever they can to win. Professional basketball, football, whatever. Players typically don't need. Do you think LeBron James needs to be pumped up? No, I don't think so. But I think there are times that he may need to be. Who knows? Tom Brady needs to be pumped up. Just look at him before the game, going down the field and pumping his wrist, going like this at the end of his little job.
Yeah,
exactly. Let's go. Okay. Does he need to be pumped up for a game?
No.
So there are players that need it and players that don't. I think the core factor is huge. Considering, look at last year, look at this year. Yeah, we got some different players, but look at the difference between, sleepy and up and let's kick some butt.
Yeah.
So,
no.
do you think the core factor is a factor in this?
I 100% agree with you. I think it's huge. I think he's just coming. And I think part of it has to do with the fact that Cora himself has something to prove. I think he, after the way sort of things ended his first time around here, the scandal and all of that, I think he has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to go out and prove the haters wrong, so to speak. And so far so good, for sure. Obviously, I feel like there are a couple of issue spots on this team that I could see early on. I kind of want to jump into this. For the first issue spot that I really see on this team is, or the big one I should say that I see, is pitching wise. I mean, hey, listen, I think pitching wise they've been much better so far than they were last year. Don't get me wrong, in a lot of aspects, but I also think that they have struggled at times to sort of, be consistent on the pitching side of things, and you've seen them, sort of get into some slugfest, so to speak, especially the last game of that Baltimore series when I think that it was like 18-10 or 16-10, something like that, a very high scoring game for sure. I definitely see some pitching struggles, which against the better teams could be a cause for concern. Now, like I said, compared to last year, the pitching is much better than it was compared to last year. That goes without saying. And there are some guys that have really stepped up. Matt Barnes is a perfect example. I mean, he's just been lights out so far. this season that closer role, and he's been really impressive to watch. And as someone who has dreaded every time he's come into a game for the past 4 or 5 years, however long it's been. It's good to see him really stepping up this year and pitching well. That being said, I just, like I said, I think my big thing for me is I'd like to see a little bit more consistency in the pitching department, bullpen and starter wise. So, Doug, I didn't know if what your thoughts were on any sort of issues, negatives, whatever you want to call it, that you've seen out of this team so far that need to be addressed as they head forward, deeper into the season.
Yeah, I think pitching is definitely the number one thing. I think that's definitely the first thing. I think that the maybe consistency in in hitting. I know it's sometimes it could be difficult to do. But I mean, we'll also have to see what happens, whether they can, okay, so they lost today. They had a 9-game winning streak. They lost today. Let's see if they can sustain that now. Let's see if they can go out, not sustain losses, but let's see if they can bounce back and then sustain what they just did, which is 9 games plus. But I think pitching.
They're back at home this weekend.
Right, which is good. So, I think the weather will get better too. So I think that'll be a little bit better. I think the weather has had some effect. I know the commentators have definitely talked about, Lou Merloni has talked about the fact that, he played some games where it was quite chilly and they had layers on, and sometimes it was a little bit difficult to, when you hit the ball with a bat that's cold, a wooden bat that's cold, sometimes you can get a little sting to it too. So sometimes that does affect them a little bit, and staying out there for the longest time, especially when it's really, really cold, is a little bit more difficult to do. So I think once they get into the warmer weather, I'm not blaming this on the weather, I'm just saying weather is a factor. But when it comes down to it, I think that, and I think a little bit more consistent. I think they've done great with the hitting thing. I think their hitting has been pretty consistent with them last, I would say, 10 games or so. But I think they need to sustain that, because I think that has been a issue.
Yeah.
And not to start hitting early, get on the board early. Something that they really need to do. Get on the board early. And try to, get ahead early. I know that that's not something that they did today. So I think that's something that I think is important too. But I think the pitching is concerning, slightly concerning, and of course, obviously the hitting part of it being a little bit more consistent on the hitting side.
No, I agree. I agree completely. And it's kind of interesting you bring up the offense, because that was kind of the last point that I wanted to touch on with the Red Sox was, the offense and the fact that they have been, all things considered, performing very well on the offensive side so far. And so I guess I want to get to your take, Doug, on who so far, again, I know it's only 13 games in here, but who offensively, with the bat has impressed you the most so far this season? Because I mean, there are sure, to me at least, there are a couple of guys that sure have stood out, even in these early weeks of the season.
Yeah, I got 2 guys also that have definitely stuck out, and they may be the same 2 guys as you have, and it's very possible, but that's all right. One is definitely JD Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. I don't know what he did during the off season, but he has been absolutely crushing it. And it's been fun to watch him. He's got a ton of confidence. Last year, it didn't seem like he had a lot of confidence, maybe not a lot of motivation. Don't know. But I know that that this year he looks very confident at the plate, and has just been absolutely crushing it. The other guy is Alex Verdugo, who's really been playing exceptionally well, especially offensively. Just been playing, really, really well. He had that was it the bases loaded double? That
Yeah.
10 that
Today.
10 at bat, today. I just think, the more we see that, the more I say to myself, I miss some of the outfielders, and we won't mention those outfielders' names because I know that's kind of a soft spot for you, Robbie. But but hey, listen, if we have our guys, and wait a minute, wasn't it yesterday that we had an outfielder? Who was that made that diving catch to end the game?
Yes.
What's that again?
I would believe that would be one certain Alex Verdugo.
Oh yeah, him
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
him
yeah.
too. Oh yeah, I did mention him.
A little bit
I-
of a flash of another left fielder that patrolled Fenway for many years.
Yes.
Again, we won't mention names, but
Yeah, exactly, because they're soft spots right now. But again, I think what I'm saying is that it takes a while. New guys come in, old guys are still here. Old guys may have same attitude as last year. Alex Cora comes in, crushes that attitude, and says, "Hey, we're a team. We're going to play as a team. We got new guys coming in. Welcome them. We'll get it done."
Yeah.
And everybody gelling together. It seems like they're starting to gel now. And now it's a matter of trying to figure out whether they can sustain that gel. Not exactly what I meant, but just sustain that kind of play. But those are the two guys that I think have been playing, exceptionally well. Which two guys were you thinking about, Robbie?
So I was with you on one, JD, and I think Verdugo is a great pick as well. But my second was actually Rafael Devers. I mean,
That was actually my third. Yeah.
four games in a row with at least one home run. I mean, he's just, you want to talk about, again, tearing the cover off the ball. He has been just very impressive to watch so far this year at the plate, and doesn't show really any signs of slowing down. So I just thought, I mean, and again, Verdugo, him and sort of Verdugo can sort of go hand in hand there in terms of 2 and 3. But yeah, I just think that that's sort of middle part of the lineup. If they can stay consistent, they're going to be dangerous this year. Very dangerous. Sort of the middle part there, JD, Verdugo, Devers. I mean, if they're all just swinging the bat well, watch out. They're going to be.
I agree with that.
Very, very fun to watch. And hopefully they can keep up that offensive consistency that we were just talking about, because right now, them clicking on all cylinders is a sight to behold. That's for sure. So, we just gotta hope that this sort of this 13 game stretch, turns into 26 game stretch, and then 50 games, and all that, and just really hope that this team can again continue to put together consistently winning baseball. And as Doug was just saying, if they can take 2 out of 3, in the predominant amount of series, then you've got definitely a playoff team, if not more, right there. So again, obviously it's still too early to really make start crowning this team in 2021, but they are something fun to watch right now, and I just, like I said, I just really hope they can keep it up. So
yeah, Robbie, I would say just get out there and try to try to watch a game, because it is exciting baseball coming from, especially if you're if you're out there, and I just think it's exciting. I have and I'll be the first to say that baseball is a little bit slow, and to watch baseball sometimes don't like watching paint dry. So it's and they've tried to speed up the game, and I get it. But
Yeah, by putting a runner at second base in extra innings.
oh boy, here it comes.
We've already had multiple of these. We've already had multiples of these this season. Every time I look at it, I don't care if the Red Sox end up winning the game or not. I look at it, I just cringe. My blood boils. It's not a good season. I'll sort of stay away from getting too much into that rant this time around. So
yeah, well, we're gonna yeah. I just want people to see them because I think they're really starting to get it into a groove. I really think they're starting to work together as a team. I think they're gelling now, and I think it's time to if you're going to get on that bandwagon, get on now and start listening, watching, whatever you got to do, following on your phone, whatever you got to do. I think they're playing, very, very well right now, and hopefully they can sustain that. So we'll see what happens down the road.
certainly. And speaking of another team that you should definitely be watching as they sort of get into the home stretch of their season, we are going to move on to the Boston Bruins.
Oh, you're asking me to watch? Oh, okay. I'm out. I'm going to go watch. I'll be back in a little bit. You keep talking.
Okay, sounds good. But yeah, the Bruins currently in action tonight against the New York Islanders, currently winning 2-1 against the Islanders after 2 periods. An Islander team that has given the Bruins fits all season long. So we're hoping and pleading that this team can maybe actually get 2 points against the Islanders this time around. But again, we shall have to see what happens over the final 20 minutes. The Bruins, so the NHL trade deadline was this past Monday, and the Bruins did make 2 moves at the deadline, acquiring Michael Riley, a defenseman from Ottawa, and then pulling off a pretty surprising
coup. It was a coup.
Newsworthy deal by acquiring good old Taylor Hall from the Buffalo Bills, someone that a lot of
Buffalo Bills,
Buffalo Sabres, yeah. The Buffalo Taylor Hall is pushing forward.
Does Taylor Hall play for the Bills too?
To the Buffalo Sabres, but no,
to the Bruins, right?
Wow. He's going to the Patriots, and the Patriots are trading him to the Bruins. But yeah,
excellent. Now I'm really confused.
So am I. So we're just gonna move past it.
Okay.
But no, Taylor Hall of the Buffalo Sabres was acquired for the Bruins.
Sorry.
Yeah, was acquired by the Bruins for along with Evan Lazar. I hope I got that name right.
That's incorrect. It's Curtis
Lazar. Sorry.
That's all right. Hey, listen, I got it down, babe.
As long as you do, that's the most important thing.
I do. That's all right.
But they got Taylor Hall and Curtis
Lazar
for Anders Bjork
and a second round pick.
And a second round pick. And then the Riley trade was actually just for a draft pick, I believe.
Yeah.
They didn't have to give up any players for him. So Doug being and I don't know if you want to bring in the Bruins guru on this at all, but I was curious what your take was on these 2 moves that the Bruins pulled off, basically what was less than 12 hours or so before the NHL trade deadline.
Yeah, it was actually Sunday night. It was late. It was late. Yeah. It was actually after midnight when it happened, when it officially happened.
Right.
Found out later on, actually the next day, what actually went down, which was pretty cool. It actually turns out that Taylor Hall actually has a no trade. He has 100%. If you tell me I'm going there and I don't want to go, I'm not going. That's in his contract. Turns out for the last few weeks, Actually, let's rewind to the summer. Summertime. Thank you. Summertime. Taylor Hall. There's a possibility that the Bruins may pick up Taylor Hall during the summer. Now, because of things just didn't work out, and they were trying to bring some young guys up, and that kind of thing, it didn't quite work out for the summer. But Taylor Hall's always thought that his thought in the back of his mind was, I want to go to a playoff team, and I want to go to a good team. I want to go to a team that I can go to, that I can, win with. I just want to win. He's had some problems with that with Buffalo, not the Bills, but the Sabres. And he's had some issues with that. His best year was his MVP year, which was with New Jersey, was with the Devils. He had like 58 goals or something like that. Crazy number.
Yeah.
And I don't even know the assists, but he had some crazy amount of goals, and he just had an MVP year. It was absolutely terrific. I'm using the word gelled. They actually that it took them a little while, but they actually did. They gelled really well. The guys worked really well together. Palmieri, who is now on the Islanders, who used to be on New Jersey. Kyle Palmieri was another one of the guys that the Bruins wanted, but went to the Islanders. He was also on that New Jersey team, and they just gelled really well. So his thought process was, I want to go to Bruins. And he didn't want to go anywhere else. So it turns out that there's a team from out west. It was never mentioned what the team was, but offered the Sabres a bigger package for Taylor Hall. And Taylor Hall said, "Nuh-uh, not doing it. Get me to the Bruins. I don't care what you got to do, but get me the Bruins." So for a second round pick and Anders Bjork, Taylor Hall and Curtis Lazar. Now Curtis Lazar is like Curtis Lazar is like an extra. I'm not even really sure how Sweeney pulled that one out of his butt. But that was fantastic because Curtis Lazar is 26 years old.
Yeah.
He plays center and forward. He's more of a forward position, but he does play center. He can play multiple positions. He can play right wing or left wing or center. He's good in that respect. And then wait, I just stopped. Wait a minute, hold on.
Hold on.
Come here. Because we have a special guest that's just coming into the studio.
Yes.
And wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's some good news. Let's let the Bruins guru tell us what the news is.
Taylor Hall just scored his first goal.
Taylor Hall, first goal right here. You heard it on the Sports Blitz. Unbelievable. First goal of the season for Taylor Hall.
Exciting.
Very good.
Gotta go see it. So before you go, we just wanted to get an idea of what you thought about the trade, because it's really important that you tell all of your fans, and they're probably more than ours, what you thought of the trade.
I was a little shocked that all wanted to come on with the Bruins, but I'm very excited. Yeah, I think that they were pretty well. Went well, and Donnie stepped it up. So
Donnie,
yeah.
See, she's got the inside track.
Good old Donnie. Yeah, I know. Good old Donnie.
She's got him on speed dial. I got nothing. She's got him on speed dial. Hey, Donnie, how you doing? Who are you getting this week, huh? Unbelievable. That's okay. Donnie, call whatever you want, especially if you guys talk. No, we love interruptions, especially if they,
Yes. No. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. That's great to hear. And if you have any more updates, you can certainly come and interrupt us. But we are talking Bruins right now.
Yeah,
So.
that's why I said.
Yeah. See, she's right on track, man. She knows the
There
stuff.
we go. Go Bees.
She knows the stuff better than I do, Rob. So So I think what it comes down to, which is great. I'm glad that's going to pump him up.
What timing for Taylor Hall to score his first goal at the Bruins? Know exactly what we're talking about.
That's perfect. That guy we couldn't have planned that any better.
We could have played that.
Wait, hold on. Hey, Taylor. Yeah, I know you're on the bench right now. I know you're excited, but thank you so much for doing that. That was awesome.
Can't repent to Taylor Hall.
Thank you so much. All right. I'll talk to you later. Actually, I won't talk to you later, but the Bruins guru will. Okay. All right.
Tell Donnie.
Okay. Bye.
Hi.
Yeah. Tell everybody we said hello, please, including Patrice, because we like. No, we're just kidding. Just kidding. We like everybody there. Okay. Bye. So yeah, no, definitely.
They pan on the bench. Taylor Hall. He's on the phone, just talking.
Who the heck is he talking to on the phone? Who handed him the phone? So I guess what it comes down to is that so Taylor Hall is 29 years old. This is not my take necessarily. This is what I've learned over the last few days of listening to him in an interview. And by the way, those guys had to drive. Those guys drove 10 hours to get here to play in the Buffalo. They're playing the Sabres. They have to drive. All three of those guys drove in a car, playing guitar in the back or whatever. Drove 10 hours trying to get here. And interestingly enough, if you watch that game, they had energy. I don't know where they got energy from because I know. Taylor Hall said he took a nap. So he was in an interview. He said took a nap, took a long nap, and it was real good right before the game, and he was up and all ready to roll. So it turns out that Taylor Hall is 29 years old. He was drafted with Tyler Seguin. So Hall was first, Seguin was second.
Right.
So they're basically the same age. I was thinking like right off the bat that we got the wrong guy, although Tyler Seguin, turned out to be, a pretty darn good hockey player. Right. But I thought we missed out on Hall. So it's whether you get one or the other, it was fine. But what it comes down to is that his goal scoring, he even says that his goal scoring has gone down. But the fact is that his assists are through the roof. So the fact is that if he comes in, gets on that Krejci line, makes Krejci look like a superstar by getting assists and stuff like that. He plays on the same line as Krejci and Smith. Yeah, that same line. I'm telling you, even I don't know if he got an assist the last game because they might have taken it away thinking that it was unassisted.
I think they did take it away.
I had a feeling they were going to take it away from him. Yeah. But the fact is that as far as I'm concerned, that was an assist. If he can come in and just play his game, that's the first. The second thing is that he's not like the top goal scorer on the Bruins now. He's not. He's not the guy that they look to. He's not the Kemba Walker of Charlotte. It's the same kind of thing. I expect Kemba Walker to shoot and score and win games. That's what they expected Taylor Hall to do in Buffalo, not the Bills, Sabres. So that's basically what they expected him to do when they came to Buffalo. They were so excited, blah, blah. Oh, he's going to win games for us. He's going to score goals, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, he doesn't.
Nothing. Yeah.
The fact is that he's in a different part. He's still a fast skater. He's still 29. He's not, he's younger than Patrice Bergeron, but watch Patrice Bergeron. Look how fast he's skating. He's skating with young guys now. He's doing well. So he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be the guy.
Right.
Now he can be a part of a winning team and he can just play his game. That's all he's wanted to do. And he just felt that with Buffalo, he had a lot of pressure on him, a lot of pressure to win games, a lot of pressure to score goals. Doesn't have to do that with the Bruins. That's the difference. And he wants to be here. He
Yeah.
wants an extension. He wants an extension. Now,
I know. I heard
might
that.
give it to
too.
him right this very second. No, let him play. Let him play until the end of the season and see how he plays. And if he plays well, I'll give him an extension. Who cares? He's still a young guy. He's still fast on his skates. He still knows how to play the game. And he's been playing at a very high level for a long time. But, it's just it's almost like the perfect positioning for this particular guy to come to a team, not have to be the superstar, but can do what he just did tonight. Could do what he did yesterday, which is to make an assist for a goal. He can do these little things that are going to help him win hockey games with the Bruins, and that's all he wants to do. So that's what I got out of the conversations that I've heard, the interviews. It's been one interview since he's been here. He's only been here a couple of days. So it's been on one interview. And with Curtis Lazar, where did he get that? I mean, I've known Curtis Lazar, I've heard the name. But to get him as another guy coming in, either off the bench or they're playing him. They're playing him on, it's either third or fourth line. I think it's the third line. They're playing him as a wing. He's fast. He's a great assist guy, and he can also score goals. So did they make out on this thing? And hey, Mike Riley, tough as nails. Tough as nails. This kid's just about the same age. I think it's
not to be confused with the Mike
26.
Riley that appeared on this show.
No, not to be confused with Mike Riley. Although I'd love to have the Bruins Mike Riley on our show. Mike Riley can make that happen for us. That'd be great. But no, it's not the other. It's not the other Mike Riley we had on our show. But thanks for coming on, the other Mike Riley. We had a great time doing that interview. But this kid is a solid defenseman, and just we basically got him for a bag of pucks. So as far as I'm concerned,
they made out great. And
as far as I'm concerned, he did a Donnie. Oh, can I call him Donnie? I don't think I can. I think she's the only one that can call him Mr. Sweeney. Donald Sweeney. No, I wouldn't call him that. Mr. Sweeney. I call him Mr. Sweeney. Mr. Sweeney did a great job, I think, in trying to get what we needed, which was a defenseman and a forward. So we got one defenseman, two forwards, and two centers, actually, and two people. So
and it worked. Yeah, and it works out for sure. I like the pickups as well. I think that they are really going to help this team as they head down the home stretch here, where we're starting to get into sort of the final month of the regular season, and the Bruins currently, hanging on to that fourth spot in the East Division, entering tonight 4 points up on the Rangers, who, by the way, suck. Just wanted to sort of get that one Rangers suck in there for episode. 4 points up on the Rangers in the East Division, entering tonight for that final playoff spot. And like I said, currently leading the New York Islanders, another New York team, 3-1 in the third period of that game.
Robbie, I just wanted to interrupt you for a second. I just got a text from the Bruins guru, says Tuukka is back. Now, I'm assuming that means that not only Tuukka's
made a nice save. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
what I'm getting from that. That's from the other room. That's from the Bruins guru in the other room.
Well, I guess so. I guess I want to touch on the goaltender situation here coming up in just a minute. But the first thing I wanted to ask you, just sort of quickly here, will this Bruins team ultimately be a playoff team? Can they sort of hold on and sort of keep a lock on this final spot here over this final month and earn another trip to the postseason?
I actually think yes. I think, and I'm not saying that because I'm just saying yes because I'm a Bruins guy. I mean, if you look if you look at what they were doing before and now the acquisitions, and now that people are starting to get healthy,
Right.
Miller's back and Miller's healthy and feeling good, and I thought he killed a guy. Yeah, I thought I can't remember the guy's name, but he just laid into this guy big time, and somebody tried to fight him, and that was not here either. So, to answer your question, do I think that they can sustain this? I do. I do think they can. I think they may even gain ground. I think this makes them. I think the acquisitions definitely make them a better team. And I mean, are they a Stanley Cup finalist? I don't really know yet, because it's just a couple of games into getting these acquisitions and putting them into the rotation. So, I mean, the way they're playing, the way they played yesterday and today. Yesterday they looked really sluggish. I was not happy with their play yesterday at all, although they won, but wasn't really happy with it.
You shouldn't have to go to overtime to beat Buffalo.
No, should not have to go to overtime to beat the Bills. But anyway, you really shouldn't. You shouldn't have to go to overtime.
Okay, Butch Cassidy, yeah.
Yes, I made my share of mistakes, but it was good. I mean, you were solid with it too. You were like, oh, doing it, saying it, don't care. But do I think they're a playoff team? I mean, is that kind of what we're asking? I think if they play the way they have been playing, I think that they can go far in the playoffs. Do I think they can? It's kind of up in the air to figure whether they're going to make it to the finals. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's it's a little bit.
But the other point,
I don't think we can really go that far. But I definitely
no.
think
But the other,
yeah, be a playoff team.
Yeah, but the other point is, can they beat Pittsburgh? Yeah, they can beat Pittsburgh. Can they beat the Capitals? Well, they have. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, they can.
But apparently tonight they're showing that they can play with to beat the Islanders. So
correct. So my feeling is that if they sustain what they're doing now, get those players more meshed in and that kind of thing, and just keep doing what they're doing right now, playing their game, winning games, that kind of thing. I still think that they can move up. And they could definitely be a playoff team.
Man. Gotta win.
And I think they could be a playoff team. I really do.
Yeah. Definitely. Now, the one sort of curiosity, and again, it's good to hear that Tuukka Rask is playing well tonight in his first game back from injury, but it does sort of lead to the goaltender situation, which has been kind of fluid here over the last few weeks and maybe even longer than that. And hey, listen, we've seen good performances out of Swayman, as we were talking about last episode. Really has come in and done a good job for this team overall. Minus maybe the Capitals game, which was just an embarrassment at home, which we won't talk about any further. But I mean, what are your thoughts, right now as we head into the home stretch of the season? Just sort of, where do you think this goaltending situation is going to go? Can Tuukka stay healthy enough to really sort of be the guy when it comes to getting to the postseason, or and sort of just I was curious to know your thoughts right now, especially with Tuukka being back, about where you foresee this goaltending situation going here as we enter the final month of the regular season.
Yeah, I don't know if he can sustain being healthy, but if he can't, I feel pretty confident we got a couple of goalies that can go out and do the job.
Yeah.
So I was, and again, Halak being on COVID protocols and that kind of thing, that can't help, and that's just something that happens, and we can't help that right now. But I think the pleasantly surprised, I guess, say, with Flatter and Swayman. I still think Swayman still needs a few, although he's been doing phenomenal down in Providence. From what we're all hearing, is I think both of them are just great goals, and I think that Tuca and Halak better be a little nervous about what's going on a little bit too.
Yeah,
Get your
better
ass
be-
healtty and get going and start
better be
doing
on
what you're
your A
supposed to be doing.
game, 'cause them
Because
other
guess what?
games are
You could
coming.
be replaced. You could be
Yeah.
replaced really quickly.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the fact that they took over because they had to. They had no choice. That they got two viable goalies that are ready in the wings, ready to come up and let's do. So,
Yeah.
you know, would I even be surprised if one of them, if Halak, they decide to get rid of Halak? I wouldn't be surprised about that.
No, not at all.
Would I do it right now? No. But if there's somebody out there that could help us, somebody who's out there with a who knows? I don't know. But the fact is that I'd be if I was Halak or Tuca, I'd be like, oh man, I'm glad they play well, but that doesn't say so much about my job moving forward. So again, and there's been some talk about Tuca retiring after this year too. So I don't know where that
There's
talk's
always
coming
talk about Tuca retiring.
from. I know, but let me tell you, it was a pleasant surprise seeing the two, you know, Darth Vader. I like calling him Vader. You know, Vladdy and Swayman doing such a great job, and we'll discount the Capitals game, but you know, but besides that, I really think they did a super job in taking over for these guys, and feel pretty good about both of them. So yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like the future, and I think we talked about this in the last episode, the future is bright between the pipes for the Boston Bruins, not just this year, but you know, when you look ahead to you know, to what could be here coming up, you know, with Swayman and Vladdy definitely ready in the wings for, like I said, the remainder of this year and beyond. So I do want to at this point go on to the final team to talk about for this evening, and that is the Boston Celtics, who coming into tonight, I know they are in LA right now to take on the good old Lakers.
We have a late game tonight.
Late game tonight again.
Just like they did last night, they picked Portland.
Yeah. Celtics though currently on a 4-game winning streak. Yes, they're seeing some consistent victories here over the last few games. Currently in the 5th spot in the Eastern Conference. Actually, I just want to double check that because I'm pretty sure it's 5th.
A couple games that were just played that could change that, Bobby, or
they're currently
either in 5th or 6th.
They're currently in 5th place, a game behind Atlanta, entering tonight. So hopefully they can make it 5 against the Lakers. Although I mean, obviously the Lakers are
they're hurting.
Tough team.
They're hurting, dude. They're hurting.
Okay. So but yeah, I guess my question to you, Doug, our Celtics guru, is are we starting to see the Celtics truly starting to click during this win streak, or is this another sort of scenario of, oh yeah, they win a few games in a row, but then they're going to go on sort of you know, a losing streak and sort of take that 1 step forward, 2 steps back mentality?
I have no clue, Robbie. I will tell you right up front, I have no idea. Do I like the way they're playing? Yes. You know,
have we seen this movie before?
Yes. Have we seen? Yeah, we've seen this. It's like Friday the 13th, part 64.
It's like Groundhog Day, over and over again.
Exactly. I mean,
Bill Murray, you know, it's
Bill
like,
Murray keeps waking up, and he finally throws that clock across the way, and it smashes into 50 bits. But then again, it happens again, and the clock is still there. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Do I think that they're? I just I wish I could say yes, but I can't. I don't know. I don't have any idea. All I know is that they're playing well, and I think all the Boston Celtics fans are like taking it one game at a time.
Yeah.
Hey, they won. They won against Portland. Great. That's great. They 4-game winning streak. Great. Now let's see them win another one. And I just want to see them sustain a pretty good winning streak here before I say, okay, you know what? Maybe, just maybe 4 games is not enough for me.
No, definitely
It
not.
just isn't. It
No,
just
no,
isn't.
no,
Right?
no. Yeah, no.
But I think they're playing well. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no, they've been playing very well these last 4 games. There's no question. But no, you're right. I think we need to sort of see them sustain it at this
Yes.
point. We need to see them more, sort of consistently, even if they, win a few games and then lose a game. We need to see a little bit more consistent bounce back and not just sort of slipping, to 2 straight losses, 3 straight losses, on the heels of a win streak. And speaking of sustaining, that's actually kind of a perfect segue into the second point I want to make for the Celtics, and that is about Jason Tatum, who, by the way, went off the other night for, I think it was 52 points.
53.
53 points.
Yeah,
was
53.
That now, I'm a little bit, was that the Portland game or was that the game before the Portland game?
I believe that was the game before the Portland.
Okay. I thought so. But
Yeah, no,
wasn't
that's fine.
100%, so.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
But what I wanted to touch on with Tatum, because he has been playing very well, and obviously is a big piece to this team's potential success here as we head down the home stretch, is he did make some comments the other day that I thought were pretty interesting when it comes to his recovery from COVID-19, which obviously he was diagnosed with back in January and had to miss some time due to that. And apparently, one of the sort of lingering effects is that he has to take an inhaler before games due to the, like I said, the lingering effects of COVID-19 on him. Now, granted, he's been playing very well. It has not seemed to impact him, so to speak, performance-wise, over the, especially over these last couple of games. Like I said, dropping 53 the other night, very impressive. My question to you, Doug, is as we get sort of down the home stretch here, and as we get to these games where he really is going to have to go as hard as he possibly can to try to help this team clinch a playoff spot / potentially make a playoff run here. How concerning / how much of an impact could this whole idea of him, like I said, having to use an inhaler before games to deal with these lingering effects, how concerned / how much of an impact should we be watching for with him as we get down the home stretch here?
I don't think it's going to be much of an impact, especially with him. First of all, he's really super. He's got young lungs. I think these are just lingering effects. I think the doctor has prescribed an inhaler to put some medicine in his lungs to make him feel better. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know if these are going to be long-lasting effects or lingering effects. It turns out that it sounds like it's just lingering. Heard from several other NBA players who have had it, who say that they've had some lingering effects. And actually, check this out. It's even gone as far, as soon as this came out, there have been other players from other teams and other sports who've come out and said, oh yeah, I had some lingering effects too. Now they're saying that our quarterback for the Patriots had some lingering effects.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's why he was not playing well and not doing what he was supposed to be doing, because he had some lingering effects too. Now, do I believe that there are lingering? Yeah, I think there are, because there's so many reports of having those lingering effects. Does it affect young people differently than older people? Yeah, it does. Obviously, that's what's been proven. Do I think it's a problem? No, because I think he's been using the inhaler for a while now. So, do I think it's a problem going forward?
Well. I mean, he has been playing well, no question about it.
I don't think it's going to affect him at all. I really don't. I think the only thing that I would watch is I would, keep like one eye on him just to see if he's played for 5 or 6 minutes, check him out, see if he's okay. Does he have his hands on his knees? Is he sucking wind a little bit? If that, take him out for a couple minutes and then put him back in if you can. But other than that, I don't see that to be an issue. Anthony Towns said that he had some issues because he had COVID too. Rudy Gobert says he had some breathing issues also. He was the first to get it in the NBA. That was the game that we all found out that it was canceled, and all of a sudden, oh my God, now it's going to the NBA.
Over a year ago now, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, and again, lingering effects from it from even a year ago.
Yeah.
That's I guess, par for the course. But I don't see it affecting Tatum in a way where he's gonna shoot less or not make shots or have that kind of thing. I think he just has to get used to, kind of using the inhaler now, and then eventually, hopefully down the road, he won't need it. I don't think it's going to affect him that much. That's just my personal opinion. I could be totally wrong, but I don't think it's going to.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hope not, obviously, and
I hope not either.
I see your point, and because obviously we need him, obviously, if the Celtics want to make a deep run in the postseason and have success in the postseason, they're going to need him to be on his A game, and so I hope that he can really start to. I hope that he can, sort of continue to play well, and use whatever methods he needs to combat any lingering effects that he may be feeling, and just sort of make sure that he is at sort of full endurance and capability and all that coming the key time of the year coming up here in about a month or so, because like I said, the Celtics are definitely going to need him as they go forward here. Like I said, looking to make it 5 in a row tonight against the good old LA Lakers. Hopefully they can beat LA and make it 5 in a row and continue what so far has been a successful West Coast road trip in general.
Yeah, definitely.
No.
And what I like is to see some of the guys really stepping up. Tristan Thompson and stuff. He
has come back strong.
Yeah, he has come back. He's trying to prove himself or whatever he's trying to do. I don't care what he's trying to do. He's playing a lot better than he was. So he is in the lineup tonight. He's in the starting lineup tonight. I mean, it's just one of those let's see what happens kind of things. Are they going to be able to beat some of these bigger teams? I know that the seeding is really important too. And I just saw a report that there is games to look for down the road for seeding purposes. One is Sunday, April 25th with Charlotte at the Hornets. The other was Tuesday, May 11th with Miami Heat. And the last one is Sunday, May 16th at New York Knicks. So those are.
Who would have thought that the Knicks would be a key game to watch out for in terms of?
I don't have any idea. All I know is that those are 3 teams that we have to watch down the road for seeding purposes. But
definitely,
I just want to see them. Just want to see them keep winning. Keep winning.
Definitely.
Take one game at a time. Don't think about anything else. Just take one game at a time and let's keep going.
Definitely. Consistency is going to be key here as we head into the final month of the Celtics season. So we are now going to begin to wrap things up here on episode number 80 of the Sports Blitz, and that, of course, means we are at the point of the show where we like to do our final thoughts for the evening. Always an exciting time of the episode, and so Doug, I will hand it over to you first this evening. What is your final thought for episode number 80?
Well, my final thought is really on what we started to talk about at the top of the show, which is Julian Edelman. There have been some, and we started to talk about it just a little bit, but talk about whether he should be in the Hall of Fame or not. Obviously, the Patriots will put him into the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But even LaShawn McCoy has come out and said, "Stop that talk. Stop that talk." What's LaShawn McCoy talking? First of all, wait, LaShawn McCoy played for the Buffalo Sabres, right? No, played for the Bills. Played for the Bills. So my thought is that I think he's got enough decorations around his neck to be able to be put into the Hall of Fame. That's just my opinion. If you look at his record, look at what he's done, his accomplishments, and where LaShawn McCoy is coming from, I don't have any idea. Where other people are coming from, and maybe I'm just a fan, but just look at his record. Look at what he's accomplished. There's no way. I mean, you can't say that he shouldn't go to the Hall of Fame. And again, I usually talk about the Hall of Fame, but I guess the other part of it is that we at the Sports Blitz wish him a good retirement. Hopefully he'll be in maybe they'll hire him into the Patriots organization as something, wide receivers coach or something like that, or maybe he'll get into some local broadcasting, which would be great. But just that's just what it is, and that's really my final thought, is that I think Edelman has the credential to be able to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Bobby, so on this episode number 80 of the Sports Blitz, what is your final thoughts for the evening?
Yeah, so my final thought is sort of a two-part final thought.
Oh,
and the first part is sort of an acknowledgement that today is the 8-year anniversary of the tragic events at the 2013 Boston Marathon. And obviously, we continue to never forget, the victims and their families of those tragic events. It was something that, people in the city will never forget. But it also, went to show the strength of this city, sort of the Boston strong mentality, which, really pierced through for the days and weeks and months and even years to come following those events. And I think that Boston strong mentality has really sort of, again, continued to pierce through in ways, given what's going on today, where we're obviously in the middle of some big issues in this country and in this state. And, I feel like, again, this sort of the talk of being Boston strong during all of this, and, sort of coming together and being one, again, has sort of really taken on a different feel during these times. But like I said, I felt like it was important to mention today, obviously, given, like I said, 8 years to the day of the tragic events of the 2013 marathon, an event that, has always been near and dear to, all of our hearts, especially, I know, for Doug and I, sort of growing up in the, in Massachusetts, in the area where the marathon is run through. It definitely has had a big impact on us, from a young age, both from a young age. And like I said, we will never forget those who lost their lives and those who continue to face struggles because of what happened 8 years ago. And our thoughts and prayers will forever be with them and their families. And it'll be, like I said, it'll be an event that will stay with us. And we continue to remain Boston and Massachusetts strong through it all, and even 8 years later. The second, more pleasant final thought that I have is another Massachusetts team captured a championship this past weekend, and that would be
that's right.
the UMass Minutemen men's
That's
ice
right.
hockey team, who captured the NCAA crown this past weekend with a convincing victory over St. Cloud State on Saturday night, 5-0. The final in that one for the program's first ever NCAA championship, a program which, by the way, was disbanded back in the 70s, and didn't actually play for a few years before finally being brought back, and has really turned around into one of the premier programs in Hockey East and in New England here over the last few years. And so, we just want to send our biggest congratulations to the Minutemen and to their fan base on a tremendous accomplishment, and big congratulations on bringing the hockey, the NCAA trophy not only back to Hockey East, but back to the state of Massachusetts as well. So it's the first time since 2012, actually, that a team from Massachusetts has won that team being the Boston College Eagles. So just wanted to give a big shout out there to the Minutemen on their title. And by the way, wanted to remind folks, if you didn't already know, that next year's Frozen Four for the NCAA men's ice hockey tournament is going to be held right here in Boston at TD Garden. So, all right, kind of looking forward to that. First time since 2015.
Bobby and I are going. We're gonna do live.
Marquee event. Yes,
The Sports Blitz live, baby.
But it's funny because I actually did go back in 2015 to the Frozen Four. Great event, great time, and very excited to next year see it back in the city of Boston. But yeah, those are sort of my two final thoughts, so to speak. Doug, didn't know if you wanted to add anything on either one of those before we wrap up here.
No, I don't, but we do have an update.
Yeah, okay.
Our Bruins guru. So our Bruins guru come in, and we do have an update.
Bruins guru, take it away.
They beat the Islanders 4-1.
Yes, let's go.
Like
All right. 4-1, yes.
And by the way, the Taylor Hall goal is on Bleacher Report, but I'm sure it's on YouTube. It will be on YouTube, I'm sure. So check it out. I just looked real quick. It was pretty nice. It was a nice goal.
I'll have to take a look myself, but
yeah, it was nice.
Bruins beat the Islanders.
I didn't even know that until my hockey buddy I
took us back
with.
Yes, Tuukka is back.
Yeah.
Good to see him. Good to see him performing well in victory again. Against the Islanders, who they had very much had their struggles with this season. So big win for the Bruins. Big win. So yeah.
Play them tomorrow night too.
Much needed.
We played them 40,000 times.
And then we play Buffalo 3 times.
Yeah, we played Buffalo like 6 times or something. 7 times the next.
When you're playing one of the teams in your division, it tends to get a little bit repetitive.
A little.
So,
like we play another team.
It's hockey.
It's hockey with COVID is what it is. So
yeah, that is true.
That's just what it is.
But anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Sports Guru. Bruins Guru.
Sports
Blitz, Bruins Guru. That's what I meant to say.
For checking in. Much appreciated as always. So that is going to wrap up episode number 80 of the Sports Blitz. Thank you as always, everybody, for tuning in, for listening. Again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are also on Ring the Bell, obviously, as Doug always says. Ring that bell, man. We are also, as always, on SoundCloud. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are making the rounds, and we're building a following, and we're keep going up. So
if there's anything you guys want to hear, anything you want us to talk about, any guests you could think of, or if you have a sports book that's out, or you have you've been a coach or you've done this in sports or whatever, and you listen to the channel and you see us and you want to come on, we have some guests that we're trying to book now. So for future episodes. So we are in the process of trying to get people to tell us some other themes that they want us to do. So, give us, give us a shout out and try to, if you have something, a theme that you want us to do, just put it in the comments and we'll try to do a show about it.
Absolutely. So that's gonna do it for tonight's episode of the Sports Blitz. Thank you as always, everybody, for tuning in. And what?
Oh, did you forget who we got on the?
Sorry, I was preoccupied with something.
Preoccupied with the okay.
I'm gonna mute Doug here in about 5 seconds. But anyway,
Go Bills.
That's go Believers, go
Saber Bills.
Believers, yes.
Go Sabres.
But no, definitely not.
Yes.
Anyway, that's Doug. I'm Robbie, and this has been episode number 80 of the Sports Blitz, everybody, and we will see you next time for episode number 81. See ya.
See you guys.